started from the bottom. No computer.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title of this video, and it is all going to be on how much I actually spent on our wedding. We had a budget and a limit for our wedding, but to be honest, I really don't know how much we spent on our wedding. And really I should say weddings, because our first wedding was a quarantine wedding because of lovely COVID. We had to cancel our original wedding plans. That was in October of 2020. And then the wedding that we originally wanted and planned for, we had in October of 2021. And so I started planning for our wedding kind of like end of year 2019, kind of planning for this video. The final cost of everything is going to be a very rough estimate. I spent a very long time searching through emails, my checkbook, bank statements, like to look for all of the different costs that went into our wedding. So because we had two different weddings and all of the planning and events going on happened within a span of a couple of years, there were some prices that I weren't able to find, so it's going to be a little bit of an estimate. But yeah, I thought this would be a fun little video. But maybe it'll be an interesting, entertaining, or maybe even a helpful video for you guys if you yourself are planning a wedding. Maybe you're someone like me that just wasn't really aware of like all the different parts go into a wedding and how much everything costs, because weddings are very expensive. I feel like everyone tells you that, but you really don't know until you're planning one yourself. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get right on into it. So if you would like to hear how much we actually spent on both of our weddings, then just keep on watching. All right, so I have a little notebook down here, and I wrote down every cost that we spent dealing with our wedding, and I kind of broke them down into categories: essentials, attire, parties and honeymoon, stationery, all of our paper products, things like that. Kind of before we get into this, like I said, before we started like getting into the whole wedding planning process and buying everything necessary for a wedding, we kind of made $10,000 as our budget. Honestly, I wish I could make like a budgeting video for you guys when it comes to like properly budgeting for a wedding and staying in your budget, but to be perfectly honest, I failed in the budgeting department. I went through or used a couple different wedding planners, one from the Happy Planner and then one from Erin Condren. I think I have some like wedding planner related videos on my channel. I have a whole playlist when it comes to our wedding, so if you haven't checked that out, I will link it for you guys so you guys can go ahead and check out all of those videos. But yeah, I went through a couple different wedding planners because, like I said, because of COVID, we had to reschedule our wedding, and so the first wedding planner I was using, I kind of just like threw out, got a new one to start over for planning for our 2021 wedding. But yeah, in both of my wedding planners, it obviously had a section for budgeting where you could write down you know, everything that you spent on all of the different categories. I started doing that, but I don't know why. I just found it very confusing, very overwhelming, and there was just certain things I knew I wanted for our wedding, and if I wanted it, if I found it, I was just gonna buy it. That is why I actually don't know how much we spent on our wedding. So even though we set a budget for ourselves of $10,000, I want to say we went over that just because I have no idea how much we spent. So before we kind of add everything up, and I have not added anything up yet, I will find out how much we spent along with you guys at the end of this video. So first I'm just gonna go ahead and estimate how much I think that we spent. I'm gonna say probably around $13,000. Also, I wanted to go ahead and mention in this video that our family, Luke's family and my family, did help us with paying for our wedding. And I know for me, for like my bachelorette and bridal shower weekend that we had, which I did vlog. I'll try to find that vlog and link it down in the description box if you guys kind of want to see a little bit of a sneak peek of that. But I know with that specific event, my mom did help out a lot with the food and everything like that. And I know my sister spent a lot of the time and money like on the games that we had, and of course like everyone that was there staying for the weekend, we did split like the Airbnb condo that we stayed in and things like that. So I did want to mention that yes, of course we did have some help from friends and family, which I'm super grateful for. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. So let's go ahead and get started with the first category of items that we spent for our wedding, and it's probably the most expensive, and that would be what I call the essential items for a wedding. This is going to be everything that like you need for a wedding: your venue, your caterers, DJs, bar service, all that sort of stuff. So let's go ahead and start with the venue first. This venue is for our 2021 wedding. So our venue we spent $2,249 on. Next was our caterer and bar. That was a total of $2,420.12. For our photographer and videographer, that was $2,550. I also wrote down dessert on here for like our cakes and cupcakes that we had for our guests. We went through a different company or catering service. So for all of the dessert items, that was $250. And then last but not least, for like the essential items was our DJ, and that was $820. And now I went ahead and added all of those prices together. So all of those essential items that you would pretty much need for any wedding, that came to a total of $8,289.12. So especially right after I added all of the essentials up, that's when I like first realized like, okay, yeah, we definitely went over $10,000. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next category, which I just titled stationery. So that's any of like our like paper products that we used for our wedding. So that would include like our invitations, and our thank you cards. So for our invitations, and this is something I definitely recommend to you guys, we went through Vistaprint, and through Vistaprint we were able to make our actual invitations, and with our invitations we were able to get like the envelopes, the little like stickers to like close the envelopes with, our RSVP cards. We got all of that in one. And the total price for that was $153.86, and that was including with our first wedding, and then with our second wedding, obviously we had to remake our invitations to kind of reflect the new date and time and things like that. So I definitely recommend going through Vistaprint if you want like a cheaper option for like invitations and stuff like that. We decided not to do save the dates just to kind of save a little bit more money. I know a lot of people told me like, no, you need to have save the dates, like that's like the proper thing to do. But in my opinion, I mean, I did kind of go back and forth. I almost did end up doing save the dates, but in the end, I decided not to do those because in my opinion, I think they're kind of stupid and pointless. Like, you're going to be getting an invitation. Like, I feel like that's good enough. And then for the thank you cards, this was kind of an estimate because I couldn't find the price for the thank you cards that I bought for like our first wedding. So I think it was around $9.98. I was able to find like really like cute, inexpensive thank you cards from Target and Hobby Lobby. So for all of the paper related products that we spent on our wedding, that came to a grand total of only $163.84. The next category that I have is our attire. So that's obviously Luke's suit, shoes, my dress, shoes, and I even included like other like cosmetic things in there, like how much I spent like on my nails for our wedding, hair, makeup, all that sort of stuff. So for my wedding dress, I went ahead and included the price of how much my dress was and then all of the alterations that came along with it, and that ended up being a total of $1,953.07. Oh, that also did include, I bought like a little petticoat off of Amazon. It's like one of those like underskirt things that kind of like poof outward, so it kind of like makes your dress poof out to kind of give it a little bit more of like a Cinderella-esque ball gown type gown, so that price was also included. Next was Luke's whole outfit, which was like his suit rental with shoes and everything like that. I think it was around $250, might be a little less, a little bit more. I don't have the exact price on that. Rings. So this was also something else that was pretty inexpensive. Really the only ring that we had to buy was Luke's. My wedding ring was actually a hand-me-down that actually fits me perfectly. I've always been obsessed with this ring. It has the ring and the band already fused together, which is something that I really wanted. And then for Luke's ring, we both, I mean, mainly him, I kind of was going along with whatever he wanted to do since it was his ring and it was something he was going to be wearing. He didn't really find it necessary that we had to go like to an actual jewelry store and buy like $1,000 ring or anything like that. So we actually just got his ring off of Amazon and that was only $49.99. Something else I included in this category, I called my quarantine attire. And if you guys didn't know, with our first quarantine wedding, I decided that I didn't want to wear my wedding dress or wedding shoes that I originally bought for our original wedding plan. So I just went on, I believe like Forever 21, and I just bought like this like short white dress, and then I also just bought some nude heels along with that. So with those things, that was $56.13. For hair and makeup, this was a pretty pricey point, and I honestly didn't realize this was how pricey it was. But in this price, that included like actually getting my hair done. I actually went to a salon to get my blonde touched up to kind of bring it up higher to my roots. And then it included, I ended up getting my hair and makeup professionally done for our 2021 wedding. So this price included getting that done and then also the trial run, the price for that. So grand total for hair and makeup was $531.38. Next was nails. This is going to be another estimated price because when I was kind of gathering all these costs together, I just included the price for my nails that I got done for our 2021 wedding, and I completely forgot that I also got my nails done for our 2020 wedding. So the nails that I spent for 2021 was $72, and that included the tip and everything. I do not remember how much I spent for our 2020 wedding, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and double that price. It was probably around the same. So for nails for both weddings came around to $144. And then the very last thing that I included in the attire category was teeth. I ended up just buying like a teeth whitening kit off of Amazon, and that whitening kit was $39.38. So the grand total for everything in our attire category was $3,024.55. I honestly didn't realize it was that much. Oh my God. The next category, which is probably one of the most important categories of any wedding, is decoration. So I am a pretty DIY savvy person, pretty crafty. I kind of add like a question mark behind those phrases because I feel like I do like to do a lot of like crafting DIY projects, but I don't think I'm very good at them. They are very frustrating and stressful to me. I don't know why I keep falling into, you know, making my own decorations or making this and making that, but I do every single time, even though it literally gives me a heart attack and puts me in the pissiest mood ever anytime I have to do something or make something myself. But yeah, for a lot of our decorations, I decided I wanted to DIY them or just do a lot of research, look for like the cheapest decorations or things to be able to decorate with possible. So all the different places that I ended up getting our decorations from were Etsy, Hobby Lobby, Amazon, and then also because our wedding was Cinderella Disney related, I wanted to get real pumpkins, and because our wedding was in October, I thought it would be perfect to get actual like real pumpkins. So I also went to Flowerland to get those. Yeah, so from Etsy, some of the stuff that I specifically got from Etsy was like a pumpkin set. And in that set, it included like a card box and then two little pumpkins that went along with it that said Mr. and Mrs. on it. And then I also got our guest book on Etsy as well, and it wasn't like your like typical like writing names down type guest book. I ended up getting like a Disney Cinderella Castle cutout, and it's one of those things where you can like write on like the little wooden hearts and drop it in, and then that was what we used for our guest book. So for those things that I got from Etsy, those were kind of on the pricier side, and those ended up coming to a total of $182.38. Hobby Lobby and Amazon I spent the most money on as far as decorations. I do have like specific wedding decor shopping hauls in my wedding playlist here on my channel. So I'll try to link all those down in the description box so you guys can go ahead and check those out if you want to see what I specifically got for our wedding, and then possibly get some ideas for your own wedding. So all the decorations that I got from Hobby Lobby ended up coming to a total of $205.89. And then everything from Amazon was $478.81. Only other thing I wanted to mention for the Amazon decor, some of the stuff included like decorations and other pieces for my bachelorette party. So I think that's another reason why Amazon ended up being the most priciest. And then again, last but not least, for Flowerland, where I got all of our pumpkins from, that ended up being a total of $83.41. So the grand total of everything that I spent on decorations alone was $950.49. Still very expensive, but I was expecting to like all decorations to be like in the thousands because I feel like I bought so much. All right, and then the very last category that I ended up including in this video, I kind of went back and forth on if I even wanted to include it, because was it specifically for our wedding or weddings? No, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of a given if you are getting married that you're gonna have a bachelor and bachelorette party and you're gonna have a honeymoon. So first I'm gonna start with the bachelor and bachelorette parties. Again, this is going to be a very rough estimate because I honestly don't know everything that went into Luke's bachelor party. He obviously, you know, planned all of that with his friends. I'm sure they chipped in as well to help pay for like the house they stayed in, and we both kind of did something very similar. We both ended up just like renting an Airbnb house or condo, and we invited like friends and family to stay for the weekend, did like games, hung out. Yeah, everything that went into like my bachelorette party and then what I think went into his came to a total of $412.60. I also wrote down for my bachelorette party, for all of the different games that we had, I went out and spent my own money on all of the prizes that people won if they won like the specific game. So I ended up going to Target and I went ham because I was just super excited, and for everyone, you know, playing the game, I didn't want to get just like stupid, like rinky-dink 1 or 2 prizes for each game winner. I wanted to go all out and get like really cool prizes that not only kind of like reminded people of me. I feel like I kind of wanted to put that little selfish touch in there because it was my bachelorette party. But I also wanted to get stuff that I think people would actually like and use. So I went ham on Target, and then I also got some more like sexual prizes off of Spencer's and things like that. So all of the prizes that I got for my bachelorette party games ended up coming to a total of $360.41. I told you I went ham. And then last but not least, for our honeymoon, we ended up just doing like a little weekend getaway after our 2020 wedding. We didn't end up doing anything for our 2021 wedding. As far as our 2020 honeymoon, it was kind of a last minute decision, but yeah, I kind of just decided like a few months before that like I wanted to at least do something. So we ended up going to Illinois to one of the Sybaris pool suites. I did vlog a little bit of that as well. I will find that vlog and link it for you guys if you want to kind of check that out. And we kind of just we drove down there ourselves, just spent a weekend there. So this price for our honeymoon is, I just included like how much like the hotel was, and that came to a total of $1,063.15. So for our honeymoon and bachelorette parties, it came to a grand total of $1,836.16. Alrighty, so those are all of the different categories. That's everything that we ended up spending on both of our weddings. So now let's get into the fun part and start adding everything up. Now actually looking at like the total at all the different categories, I'm starting to think it's gonna be way more than 13,000. So yeah, let's go ahead and add everything up and we will get our grand total of the amount that we actually spent on our weddings. Okay, adding up the last amount. I'm gonna hit equals here. Okay. All right, so the grand total, the amount of money we actually spent on both of our weddings ended up coming to a total of $14,264.16. Wow, kind of my first impression of that. Not bad. Of course, it is over the $10,000 that we budgeted or we made as our budget for our wedding. Obviously, that's not good. I originally estimated that it was gonna be around $13,000, but then looking at the grand total of each of the different categories, I was starting to like worry and think we were getting into like the $15,000 to $20,000 range. Hey, I'm not good at math. I'm not good at doing it in my head, but just looking at those big numbers, I was like, oh shit. So, 14,000. Obviously that's more than what we originally wanted to spend, but it could have been way worse. And that's 2 weddings, you guys, which I feel like most people spend $20,000+ on just one wedding. So that's not too bad. I'm not totally mad at it. And also I just kind of wanted to mention that if you yourself are going to be in the process of planning a wedding, or if you have not ever planned a wedding before and you hear some of these prices and you're just like, holy shit, I would never spend that amount of money on a venue or a DJ or what have you. I would say those are some of like the basic prices for each of those. I would say even a lot of other places are a lot more expensive. I spent a lot of time researching different vendors. Not only a good price, but also the reviews. So that's just kind of the name of the game. That's just what comes along with wedding planning. I was very happy with all of our vendors. And obviously I was totally fine spending the amount of money that we spent on each of those. I kind of just wanted to throw that out there. I'm not trying to like shade anyone. I'm not trying to like expose any of my vendors. Like, this is how much they charge for our wedding. Like, so that's basically it for this video. This is how much I actually spent on our wedding or weddings. If you guys enjoyed this unique style video, definitely give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Obviously, we are post-wedding. Honestly, thank God. Going through 2 weddings, COVID, all the planning, all of the purchasing of all the different things. It was such a great time, and I will remember and cherish those memories forever, but I'm glad it's over with. If there's any other wedding related videos that you are interested in, go ahead and follow me on my Facebook page. I did make a post. I'm not exactly sure when this video is going to go up, so you might have to scroll down a little bit, but near like the end of December, I did make a post with a Survey Monkey link for you guys to vote on all of the different wedding related ideas that I kind of had written down and was kind of brainstorming about, but wasn't really sure if you guys would be interested in them. So I decided to make a poll through SurveyMonkey, not sponsored at all, but I decided to make a poll just to kind of get your guys' opinion and if any of those videos included in that poll is something you'd be interested in. So you can definitely go check that out, vote on that poll, or if you have any other wedding related videos you would like me to make, you can always leave those down in the comments down below. But definitely make sure to follow my Facebook page. That is going to be the main place for all things YouTube related. You can check down in the description box as well. I always have all my social media links down there as well. And yeah, once again, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna get going for now, but I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone.